Ew.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Loose Balls podcast. I am Chris, and I'm here with my co-host Eli.
Yes. Let's get back
Yeah,
into it.
I know it's been a pretty busy week. We have a lot
Yeah,
of playoff scenarios and all this stuff coming up. Week 18. This is coming down to the wire here for a
I
lot of
know.
teams.
I know.
So
I mean, predictable outcome to the season so far. I think looking back at week 3, we could have seen some sort of scenario like this in week 18. Whole bunch of teams kind of riding the middle right now. Make a lot of make or break times. It's gonna be a lot of heartbreak this upcoming weekend here.
yeah, a lot of teams going home. I'm really hoping we get one where we get like a real wild card spot in here. Like one of those teams that has less than 10% just makes the cut.
That's true. That's true. Who would be on that line here? Let's see.
I mean, we'll have to look at some of these scenarios because I know there's a couple teams like that.
Yeah.
So before we get too far into it, though, we went 11-5 this week for our games. Not too bad.
Okay.
Pretty
Not too bad at
respectable.
all. Yep.
Puts us at a running total of 32-25. So we're getting there.
Nice.
This was
Yeah.
closest. I think this is one of the closest we've gotten. So we're getting close to
Yeah.
that 16 wins for the big money payouts.
Yes. Exactly.
I mean, do you have any takeaways from this week? I think one of the
And this last
craziest
week.
ones has to be Brad Allen and his crew getting
Yeah.
so much flack, but they have made, to be fair, a couple really big mistakes this year. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I mean, there was that. If we go back to my our picks we did last week, I remember being impressed that I was able to call out that the Saints game, Saints Buccaneers game,
yeah,
you know, because trust me, Saints aren't shaping up that well, but when it comes to scenarios like that, dude, car puts out. I don't know what it is.
he does. He does.
Hmm.
Craziest one for me is that the Eagles lost.
Again, this is I think their 5th game in a row now.
Right? I was seeing
Yeah.
something today that the team's falling apart because AJ Brown's unhappy and it's causing a rift in the locker room. And I was like,
I
well,
mean, I think that's kind of a dramatization of what's going
right.
on. Just because he said he doesn't have anything nice to say doesn't mean that he hates his position there. Needless to say, there is something going on there.
You know who's been having a rough go at it these last like 5 years?
Is
The Eagles defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia. He just can't catch a break.
yeah,
He can't
yeah,
catch a break. It's
yeah, that's true. That's true. Poor
maybe it's
guy.
time to just give it up. I don't
I
know
don't know.
what he was, because he was great with the Patriots, and
Yeah.
then he goes to the Lions,
Mm-hmm.
completely destroys that team,
Completely
gets
destroys it.
fired,
Yeah.
goes back to the Patriots, but they don't need a defensive coordinator anymore. So what do they put his defensive mind to? Offense.
Oh gosh.
You know who did terrible at switching roles to calling offense? Matt Patricia. Set up
I'm
for
assuming.
failure.
Yeah.
Also, though, was I think the coach for Mac Jones's Pro Bowl season? All Pro?
Really?
Might have
Mac
been. I'd have
Jones
to go
went
back
Pro
and look
Bowl?
at it. All Pro, sorry, not Pro Bowl. All Pro. All
Okay.
Pro. Was there for that, and then gets fired there because he's awful as an offensive
Mm-hmm.
coordinator. The offense has no life. Goes to
Yep.
the Eagles, and now the Eagles are on a 5-game skid because their defense can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
It's not
I
good.
can't stop anybody. This is true. I mean, not only talks about this, but Brandon Staley as well, putting him into question.
About like putting Brandon Staley into question. Well, is he going to get another job?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, he will as a
Hmm.
coordinator. He has a good defense. God, I hope he wasn't an offensive mind because that offense didn't look good. I think he was defense.
Yeah.
So that
Beats
was
me.
one. We lost on the
Hmm.
Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah, we lost on the Lions, which
That's
is where all this
shocking.
Brad Allen controversy comes in. Did he check
True.
in? Did he not check in? Was it a trick play where someone else tries to check in to throw off everybody else?
Yeah. Even then, it shouldn't have been that close.
No, Cowboys should have run
It's
away with it, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
And
big controversy of all the refs, all the flack that they finally got. What was their uh penalty again? It was like they can't ref the
they're
Super
not
Bowl.
able to ref the Super Bowl, and I think there's been a bunch of stuff that's been coming out. Like they got punished pretty bad for this one, but it's also because
Yeah.
they made this call. They're also the one behind the last time Green Bay played the Chiefs with that pass interference call. That was also Brad Allen's team,
Oh.
and oh, he had one other where they missed it pretty bad, and I can't remember what the play was. It was the Vikings though. It was like a
Oh.
pass interference call that wasn't a pass interference, which was their missed one, and then it was the missed pass interference, and now the not that they didn't get it wrong. Like you can clearly see the film that the bunch of linemen came up and talked to him, but he wasn't paying
Mhm.
attention. He admitted he wasn't paying attention, and that's
Yeah.
that's where he got in trouble. He
That's where
admitted
you
that he
lose.
wasn't doing his job. So
Gosh, dude. Nuts. Finally.
nuts,
Finally some
right?
justice. Yeah.
I just look at it because like our first win is the Browns, and I just don't. It's good. It's good, I
Yeah.
guess. Like
Yeah.
good on you. Joe
We
Flacco
saw that
looks
one coming.
decent.
Yeah.
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 So all
Yeah.
right, you want to go through some scenarios?
Yeah, let's start going through some scenarios here.
So let's just go through and let's just see the probability of like it happening and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I mean, some of these. So we're in the
Well,
NFC.
yeah, we'll
Uh,
pick out like some favorites and then we'll kind of go through their lineups and what they got going forward, some other, potential outcomes.
yeah. So the ones who've clinched are the Lions, Cowboys, and Eagles.
Nice. Wow, Eagles still clinched with 5 losses here.
Yeah, they're just right now playing for who will get the NFC East title.
Nice.
So, and right now, basically, the Cowboys get the title if they win over the Commanders and the Eagles lose to the Giants this week,
Okay.
or a win with losses by both the Eagles and the Lions, or with a tie, an Eagles lost tie or a Lions lost tie. So basically, they're banking on the Eagles to lose and they have to win.
Okay. Nice. And that's for the Lions?
That's for the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah,
Nice.
the number 2 seed in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm surprised they need that much to line up in order to not make it.
Not to make it. So they basically, if the Eagles lose to the Giants, they win their division. If the Eagles
Hmm.
and the Lions lose, they get the number 2 seed and they play at home.
Oh, okay.
And so the Lions basically just need to win over the Vikings to be the number 2 seed.
Hmm.
Or if they lose to the Vikings, the Eagles and the Cowboys have to lose for them to be the number 3 seed. Both,
Okay.
both doable. And
Yeah.
it's basically the same thing for the Eagles. The Eagles and the Lions all have the same. Eagles, Cowboys, Lions have all the same thing.
All right.
So now to go through the teams in the NFC that they have listed that can still clinch with a good percent chance are the Packers, Vikings, Buccaneers, Saints, Falcons, Rams, and Seahawks. That's 3 NFC South teams. Ugh.
That's that's nuts, dude.
Ugh.
Is right. Like I said, right this week could have been predicted week 3. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Absolutely terrible. Up and down.
Sorry, the Rams have already clinched the playoff spot as well. I forgot about them.
Okay. Nice, nice, nice. In that case, wow. I think Buccaneers are going to be pretty interesting to see here. Is it too is it too late for the Seahawks? You know?
No, the Seahawks. So what do they need? They have to beat the Cardinals, plus the Packers have to lose, basically. And if there's a
Okay.
tie, then a bunch of teams have to tie for them to make it in. So
Okay. Oh man. Yeah, nervous about those Seahawks. I think I'm surprised Packers are here. This is what goes to show what a healthy team can happen. What happens when you
and
have a healthy team.
Right. And the Packers clinch a playoff spot with a win over the Bears. That's it.
Jeez. Easy dubs.
And other teams have to lose, but if they get the win, they basically secure the spot. Vikings
Yeah.
also is crazy to me because they've had 3 quarterbacks on a carousel out here trying to figure out who they're going to play.
True.
They have
They
to beat
won this last
the
week too, right?
right, which is why they're here because they have to beat the
Gosh.
Lions and the Packers and Seahawks have to lose. Oh, sorry, plus losses by the Packers and Seahawks, and then either the Bucks or the Saints have to lose for them
And
to.
I can legitimately see that happening, you
I
know.
mean, yeah. And so the Buccaneers have the easiest route here.
Hmm.
They basically have to beat the Panthers,
Okay.
or if they tie, Saints have to lose or tie. Yeah, they only talk about ties. Basically, if they lose, it doesn't matter. They're out.
Okay.
So
Sheesh. Wow, wow, wow.
yeah, and the
I
Saints
have
and the
some.
Falcons play each other. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Saints Falcons. That'll be an interesting game.
And
Mm,
so crazy one here. Looking at the AFC, this was something I saw. Just making sure I have it right. Here's a crazy one for you. The
mm,
Bills, right now,
okay.
if they beat the Dolphins, they get the number 2 seed and they
Hmm.
steal the division from the Dolphins. If they lose and one of these next 3 teams also lose, they get the number 2 or they get a wild card spot. However, they can also still be eliminated from the playoffs
If the all
if
the other
they
wild cards do good.
lose and the Texans, Jaguars, and Steelers all win.
Oh my gosh.
And that is a crazy stat line to look at that there's a 1 in 3 chance that they either win the division and play all their playoff games at home
Hmm.
or they don't go to the playoffs at all.
Yeah, that's nuts. Oh my
So,
goodness, dude.
so
What a precarious situation. And I could see that
uh,
happening as well. You know, CJ
yeah,
Stroud's back. They're true to form. They looked really good this last week. You know. Oh man.
yeah. And so the teams right now, I don't think there's any that have clinched their division yet.
Okay.
So the team clinching scenarios. So these are teams, sorry, there are teams that have clinched. These are teams that still have a chance to win something. And that's the same with the one above. I apologize. There are teams that have clinched, but
Hmm.
out of like the NFC teams that we talked about, some of those like they still have a chance to win something else or be eliminated.
Yeah.
Teams still looking to clinch something before playoffs are the Dolphins, Bills, Steelers, Jaguars, Colts, Texans.
Okay.
And all the last 4 teams, so the Steelers, Jaguars, Colts, and Texans are all 9-7. The
Hmm.
Bills are 10-6, and the Dolphins are 11-5.
Wow, dude.
So,
Nuts. This is nuts. I mean,
and
who are the Jags playing? Do you know?
the Jags play the Titans.
Oh, okay. So they're winning that.
The Texans play the Colts,
They're winning that. What who do the Steelers play?
and the Steelers play the Ravens. But
Ooh.
but the Ravens have already announced that Tyler Huntley is getting the start. They're resting their
Still,
starters because they already have the playoff spot.
I don't think Steelers defense can stop that offense. The
True,
backup
and
offense, that is.
that might be the case.
Oh,
But the only team that's playing spoil sport here is the Colts because the Colts. Oh, sorry, never mind. The Texans Colts game does not matter because either of those teams win. That's one of the 3 teams needed to get a win to eliminate the Bills. So really,
okay.
it's only the Jaguars and Steelers need
Wow.
to get a win, which is
Okay.
way more intense.
I'm
And
sure
so
you
this
are enjoying
is
that as a fellow Dolphins fan.
I am
Um,
I am enjoying this.
man.
So
Can't believe it.
this is the playoff picture right now with as of right now, before this next week, this would be the 7 teams that go on for the NFC.
Hmm.
The Niners, Cowboys, Lions, Bucks, Eagles, Rams, and Packers.
Okay.
For the AFC is the Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, Jaguars, Browns, Bills, Colts.
Ugh, gosh. I dislike that second one a lot more than the first one.
Because it's all
Man.
closer.
Yeah.
It's way closer than it should have been. So
Yep. I can't believe
it's
Browns are on that list. I can't believe Kansas City's on that list.
you know what else is on this list?
Who?
The Panthers. You want to know why?
Oh my gosh.
Not
Why?
only have they been eliminated, but they just fined their owner David Tepper 300,000 for throwing a drink on a fan.
Oh my gosh. How does the owner audit himself?
How does how does the owner do
Yeah.
what?
How does the
Uh,
owner get fined from the NFL?
yeah, the league fined him $300,000 for unacceptable conduct by an
Wow.
owner. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That talk about a ownership that needs to change. That one, most definitely.
What? No, not
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
They own a
Panthers.
perfectly good team. They've got a great team out there.
Gosh,
What do you mean?
there's no way, dude. They traded away CMC. Their one player that they needed to build around.
What do you mean?
Who'd they get for him?
They got a bunch of picks.
Of
A
course they got
couple
a bunch of picks.
seconds and a
What are they
third.
gonna do with those picks?
Trade them to the Bears for nothing.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
It seems like a perfectly rational strategy to me. I
Oh
don't
my
understand.
goodness.
Like, they're clearly going for the rebuild. Plus, it's great for the fan base. How else are you going to go see a football game for less than a dollar?
Less than $1. Oh gosh, how could we forget? I can't. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah,
Find
they
a place
need to.
that's doing dollar shot Sundays, and for $7, you could have a great time and go to a football game.
Yeah, they need to get their act together. But from the rest of those matchups, man, I'm honestly surprised the Steelers is in the picture.
I mean, it's crazy when you look at the fact that it's Mason Rudolph that's doing this, and you know, it's a great stat that I've been seeing thrown around when we talk about Steelers quarterbacks.
What's that?
How many wins they've had when Mitch Trubisky has played less than half the game?
What's the win rate?
It's like
Is it like,
it's all 9 of their wins or something like that.
oh my gosh,
Yeah,
of
it's
course.
great.
Oh my goodness.
9-7. Yeah, they got all their wins without Mitch Trubisky.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
But they
sounds
have to
about
specify
right.
the half because the game that he got benched, they won.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Nuts.
I've got the next piece for you because the season's winding down. A
Mm,
lot of players are on a contract year here. I've picked 18 out of the top 100 free agents,
nice. I like it.
and we're going to play a little game called Fish or Cut Bait.
Okay.
And how it works out here is if you think this player should be re-signed to their team, we
Hmm.
fish.
Fish. Yep.
Like we fish back. We're
See
throwing
what,
it out
see
one
what can
more year to see what
happen.
we get.
Yeah. Hmm.
Cut bait means it's a loss. We're letting them go. We're trading them. We're just not re-signing them. We're seeing
Yes.
what we do. Sign and
Yep.
trade or something like that.
Love
So
it.
first one, everybody's favorite quarterback,
Oh no.
Kirk
Cut
Cousins,
bait.
is
Oh, Kirk Cousins.
yeah,
Oh, I thought
yeah,
you were gonna
yeah.
say Deshaun Watson.
Oh no,
Um,
Deshaun Watson. They're stuck with him for
he's got a
five
few more
years.
years.
No,
Five
no, no.
years.
This is the first year of his 5-year deal. They've got him for
Oh
oh no, no,
my.
no. So then they have him for 4 more. But this one's injured, so they might not pay him. So they might have him for 5.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
That's
because
insane.
oh no, no, no. Maybe it's their second. Maybe they're not going to count this year because he got hurt. But this would be his second year because he played last year. I don't know. Either way, they've got him for 3 or 4 more years. He's not going to be on this list.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Um, well, look forward to that podcast when he's on Fisher Cut Bait. Um, golly. Kirk Cousins, though, oh my goodness. I mean, he's like he is the split in the fan base of the Vikings. You know, he's either your worst enemy or you're toxically like attracted to him for absolutely no reason, you know. He has mid stats, mid everything. That being said, I think they should fish him, dude. They should fish with him.
One more year.
One more year.
All right. I mean,
Let's see what happens.
I don't disagree
Yeah.
because I think where the Vikings are at right now, they're not getting one of the top picks.
hmm Like if
So,
Kirk Cousins was healthy throughout this whole year,
I mean, they're in the
I
playoffs,
think they would have been a top 3, top 4 team.
which I hate to say, but yeah, with all the injuries this year, easily. The fact that they're
Yeah.
already still in the playoff hunt with the
Yeah.
injuries is, yeah,
hmm
I agree.
Nuts.
I think that's probably the case. I'm saying cut bait, but only
Ooh,
because
cutting.
there's some other quarterbacks on this list, and I think that maybe they could get someone in the offseason that might be better. I have
Okay.
I have two more on this list that are coming up to be signed.
Nice.
And
Like
so
that being said, you know, I think Kirk Cousins could also thrive even more somewhere else. You know.
I also think so. The middlingness for me is just kind of overstayed its welcome in Minnesota.
Yeah, that is true.
I I don't know. It's not
It's like retire your receivers, get a good QB. You know, just take a lap in luxury for a little bit, there, Vikings fans.
yeah, I don't know. He's shown that he's better than the rest of the quarterbacks on their roster,
Yeah,
but he's also shown that he's not going to ever win you guys a Super Bowl.
yep,
So it's pick your poison. It's always be relevant but never great, or
yep.
take your chances. So
True, 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 true.
next one on this list is Hunter Henry with the Patriots.
Wow.
Is coming up.
Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, team rebuild. Get a new GM first. So in that case, oh, man, that's a tough call then. I think you fish with them then. If you're the Patriots, you got to hold on to your good players. That way you don't pretty much lose your entire fan base.
Yeah,
That's how I'm seeing it. Because I'm telling you what, Patriots fans right now, going through it.
Hunter
Going through
Henry
it.
is such a good tight end. He did so well in with the Chargers, and he did well
hmm
in his first season with the Patriots.
Yeah,
You just got to keep him. If you're really thinking about making a quarterback change, then keep him. If you're thinking
yep,
about making a coach change, keep him because he's a good tight
yep,
end that can do checkdowns. If you are
exactly.
not, if you're going to bring Belichick back, or you're saying we're going to let Bailey Zappi or Mac Jones try again next year, cut bait. You're going to
Yeah,
overpay for basically a extra lineman because you're not going to throw him
yeah,
the ball. And
yeah,
that's what he
that's
was
true.
made his name for, was making these big 50-50 catches in the end zone. So
Yep.
you can get any tight end to block. So
And that's where my hope is as well, you know, is that they really take a good, hard, long look, say, our scheme that we had isn't working anymore. Time for something new. Keep this player, have him be our guy here for a couple years, rebuild something new.
right, yeah. So the next one, keeping with the Henrys, is Derrick Henry of the Tennessee
Ooh.
Titans.
Man, that one hurts. This is a conversation that only hurts feelings. I mean, it's tough. It's a tough call. That's a tough call. How many teams has he been on?
Just the Titans.
That's it?
Yeah, I think so. He was drafted to replace DeMarco Murray when DeMarco Murray left the Cowboys to go to the Titans.
Wow.
So yeah, he's only been on the Titans.
Man, if you're the Titans, you got to keep him for his name by this point. You know, he's got the jersey. He's your guy. You know, he's your franchise guy. It's been too long to let him go now.
Man, I gotta disagree. I'm cutting bait.
Cutting bait. I mean,
I'm
that's the
cutting
smart
bait.
thing.
It's
That's the
the
smart
smart
thing.
thing. So I'm keeping him if when we come to these contract negotiations, I sit down with him and I go, let's be real about this.
Hmm.
We want to keep you because you're a name that's stuck with this franchise and it's important to us.
Yeah.
But we gotta be able to run the ball. Like we
Yeah.
gotta well, okay. If he comes back on a team friendly deal so we can get receivers, sure. I mean, I'm fine carrying him
That's
back. It's not
that's
necessarily
where
that we need to.
that's yeah, that's what I think that has to happen regardless, you know.
But if he
Like,
doesn't, he's like, no, I want that money. It's cut bait. He's not
yeah,
worth what he's not worth a team that's in the middle of the rebuild to pay to keep
yeah.
him. You might
Yep.
as well just invest that talent else or that invest the money elsewhere. Let
This
Trey
is
Spears
true.
get a shot at it.
Hmm. This is
Next
true.
one is T. Higgins.
Ooh. Dude, you gotta keep him. You gotta keep him. If
Yeah,
you
if you're the
if the
Bengals.
Bengals have hope, you gotta keep him. We had an off
Now
year this year. He's a good player. Stick with him here for one more year, you know.
now the team should keep him. But if you're T. Higgins, do you stay or are you like, no, I'm gonna go somewhere where I get to be the big man? Because you're getting
Um,
outshined by Jamar Chase on this team.
yeah, that's true. Honestly, that dude could be the best Cardinals receiver they have had in a decade.
Yeah. So that's I think he stays if he thinks the team's still gonna be competitive,
Hmm.
like with Joe Burrow coming back.
Gosh,
Do I think
imagine
he
T.
signs
Higgins to Kansas City.
imagine T. Higgins on any team but the Bengals. And maybe like Miami where it's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, that's true.
He immediately becomes the best receiver they have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another tough call there, dude. I mean, man, if you're the Bengals, you're hoarding them, you know.
You are if
That's
you can keep them all, but I think Joe
that's
Burrow
true.
just got paid. Jamar's
Hmm.
coming up on getting paid. You're paying
Yeah.
T. Higgins this year. You've got to pay Tyler Boyd. You got to
Yeah.
start. This is you're either going to start paying luxury tax or you let one go. Personally, I'm thinking it's Tyler Boyd that I'm letting go
Dude, if
out of the
I'm
three.
Bengals management, I'm gaslighting the F out of them. You know, it's like, honestly, y'all are whack. Y'all don't even know how to play ball. I mean, you
Oh,
guys
they
are lucky to
do.
get a million. You know,
They try. They
that's
showed
that's
this.
what I would do.
They showed this last year when Lamar Jackson was going through those contract negotiations. And everybody was saying, like, you need an agent to sit in there because they're not going to be nice. They're going to point out everything that's wrong with you about why you're
Yeah,
not worth that money
yeah,
because they
exactly.
don't want to pay. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
Jeez.
I think he's one that I could easily see staying.
Hmm.
But if he tries out free agency, he's gonna get paid way more on the market.
Yeah, that is true.
So the next one of Fisher cut bait is Michael Pittman.
Ooh. I mean, I think you have to, right? Like, he's
Right.
your guy. Like, you
I was
gotta
gonna
re-sign
say
him. You're
I
fishing
think
with
both
him.
sides fish here because Michael Pittman can get paid and it's not
Yeah.
guaranteed that he's going to be the number one option on another team.
Hmm.
Colts have the money to pay him.
Yep.
Do it.
Yeah. Yep.
So next one is Mike Evans. Again, I think this is another.
Okay. Honestly, cut bait. You know,
You think
cut
so?
bait. Yeah.
In the same boat that like
They just need to accept they're going through a rebuild. If you have, oh man, I'm even forgetting his name right now. QB for
Baker
Buccaneers right now?
Mayfield,
Baker Mayfield. If you have Baker Mayfield as your main guy on your squad, you are fully acknowledging that you are going through a rebuild.
he's taken 3 of the 4 teams he's been on to the playoffs.
This is true. This is true.
So
Cannot deny
uh,
that.
I think if we're looking at Mike Evans, we got to look at the same way we looked at Derrick Henry. You got to keep him if you can get him on a team friendly deal because he's been there forever and he's putting up 1,000 yard seasons every season,
Forever on the Buccaneers,
all 10 years.
Mike Evans,
Yep.
he was a Patriots receiver guy.
No, he wasn't.
Are we sure?
I am almost positive.
Oh, hold on now. Hold on now. Because I got a feeling
Because
he
that
was
would mean Tom Brady
Brady's
would have thrown to
bunch.
him twice. He was with
Yeah.
Brady on
Yeah, he threw to him twice. Let me see.
no.
Mike.
Mike
He played
Evans.
for the Dolphins and the Patriots
No. Really?
and the Saints.
He did not. You're looking at the wrong one. I just pulled him up in Sleeper, and from
Oh,
2014 on,
yeah.
he's
I'm
played
looking
for
at
only Tampa Bay.
I'm looking at Heath Evans.
Oh, the
Sheesh.
tight end? Yeah, wrong guy.
Yeah, wrong guy. Um, yeah,
From
I guess so, dude.
yeah, from 2014 he's only played for the Buccaneers.
Wow. The more I have learned this evening. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're Mike Evans, that's true. I mean, if you've been there that long, yeah, you got to go with the team-friendly deal. That's what I would do. You know, the name's synonymous with the team and the jersey.
Right. So exactly. That would be one of the reasons if they did cut bait because it's a rebuild, a lot of people would be upset, but it's the smart move.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah, yeah.
next next one who's been on two teams already in his young career is Calvin Ridley.
Oh. Oh. I mean, honestly, I'm cutting bait, dude.
You think so? He's only
I'm
had
cutting
one
bait.
season
I
out
think
there.
he's gonna have like that OBJ type, career. Bounces around from team to team. Good set of hands, can always depend on. And just balls out of control and eventually finds a ring. I think he's that talented, and I think, he can pull that kind of career off in the NFL.
Yeah, and for that reason, I think they fish mainly because I mean, they traded away picks to get him. So
Yeah.
we've already given up part of our future to bring you in. We might as well pay you and see what we get.
Yeah.
Do
Not
it
bad.
well. If he starts asking for max deals, yeah, you let him walk. He's not worth it. But
Yeah. I mean, oh man, it so much depends on how QBs are going to be looking next season.
I mean, you still have Trevor Lawrence. They have him under contract for at least one more year.
I mean, you have Trevor Lawrence, but even under a good league, Trevor Lawrence is still middle of the pack at best. You know.
Yeah. So I don't disagree. Like this is another one that he might decide to move on, and that's
Hmm.
totally fine too.
Yeah.
I put Chase Young on here, but I'm gonna skip over that because the Niners traded a second round pick to get him halfway through this season, so they clearly intend to re-sign
Keep
him.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one you fish or cut bait on is Saquon.
Ooh, sheesh.
A lot of big name running backs.
Yeah. Ah, poor RBs, dude. I mean, they can't afford him, right?
They can afford him. It doesn't help the team grow, but that's the only way they're going to keep him, especially when they franchise tagged him and decided they were going to pay Danny Dimes instead. And then,
Oh, gosh. True.
yeah, so they did it in the wrong order, and now
Yeah.
he's going to make them pay for it. They
Yeah, I
could
agree with that.
always franchise tag him a second time, but I think that's it. After I don't even know if you can do it two times anymore. So,
I have no clue.
but I don't
And
think they can
yeah, I'm
afford him.
getting out of there if I'm Saquon. You can catch yourself
Yeah,
some dubs, guy.
yeah, I'm not staying.
Yeah. Ow.
Following up Saquon is your favorite running back, Josh
Hmm.
Jacobs.
Nice, dude. I mean, honestly, by this point, he falls into the old Mike Evans argument, the old Derrick Henry argument. He's been on the team for so long now.
No way. He's only been there. This is his rookie contract. He's only been there 4 years.
That's a long time for the Raiders.
Yeah, but he's not the face of a franchise. He's not two contracts in.
Yeah. Still, you know, we should have done it last season.
Right.
Makes it so much harder now. Gosh. I mean, the smart thing is still to trade him, but are we
Yeah,
gonna do that? No.
you have to fish or sign and trade. Like you just can't. You put too much into it to cut bait,
Yeah.
and also your guys' running back core isn't that good.
I don't know.
So
Zamir White has been kind of popping off. Not gonna lie. Most rushing yards week before at damn near 200 yards, and
well,
outdid CMC. Not easy to do.
all right. I guess. I mean, it's
I think
still
he's
hard
just
to.
as talented, so that just makes it a little bit easier to say, yeah, cut bait. But
But I do think he's going to be overpriced for what you're going to get. He had that one big season, and I think that's it. So,
yeah, I think so too.
but I've also learned that
Mm,
I can't. I got to stop making predictions because all of my predictions have come back to be 180% or 180 degrees in the wrong direction.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
mean, listening back to it, every single player one I've done. So
really.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Both times with Joe Flacco, he killed it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was it was Zeke. I was saying Zeke the guy, and we were talking about no, he really isn't. He goes off for 2 touchdowns and like 60 yards.
That is true.
And every player that I've been like, no, this ain't it, comes back and kills it. So
True, dude.
especially when
Chuba
we do
Hubbard.
game picks where we're like, oh, this isn't gonna work. Like this guy's a bum,
Yeah.
and then he just kills it. So
Pops
it's like, all
off.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gosh.
So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna stop making player predictions, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
Nice.
That's a lie. I'm gonna continue, but I'm just gonna bet on the opposite.
Yeah. Find us on X, formerly known as Twitter.
So after Josh Jacobs is Dalton Schultz, who left the Cowboys to go to the Texans and has been pretty reliable for the Texans.
Nice. That's good. I honestly sign him, He's a name, he's a talent for the up and coming team. Keep it rolling. You're gonna do good next season.
I say Fish as well because tight ends have gotten few and far between. So
Yes. Yes, they
yeah.
have. Completely agree.
So next one is Tony Pollard.
Ooh,
They made a choice. They chose him over Zeke.
they did. They did. How's it working out for him though?
Yeah, I still think they fish. Does that mean that
Yeah,
Jerry Jones doesn't draft a running back next year? No, but I still think
true.
they fish.
Yeah, just a tough position all around. I mean, it's it's because like you're hitting the success right now. Who knows whether or not the threat of a run game is the thing that is making any sort of a difference on any of these defensive schemes?
Yeah,
It might be, but man, it's just tough. It's
it
just
is.
tough.
It's tough because i- he's a good change of pace back. He's a good receiving back.
Hmm.
If you bring in another young back, you don't have to bring Zeke back. That's fine. But
Yeah,
whatever you decide to do, if you bring in another back, you could have a dynamic duo back there. You don't
yeah,
have to just give up on this.
that is
I mean,
true.
you could bring one of these other running backs that we just talked about that are going into free agency in, or you could bring this next guy in with Austin Eckler from the Chargers.
I was thinking the exact same thing, as a matter of fact. I mean, just as dynamic, right, is going to keep the game consistent and high energy. Having a back that can do quick screenplays, be that yeah, that receiver back, and still have the power to punch through 4 yards average. Really strong capabilities whenever you have that on your team. But will Chargers do a straight up trade for that? Hell,
Well, they
no.
don't have to. You don't have to because Austin Eckler's on a contract here. This is his contract expires. So it's do we fish or cut bait?
Okay. Hmm.
I think. I mean, I think the Chargers have to cut bait here. Like they might
Oh, they
sign and
have
trade
to.
him,
Oh
but
yeah.
he's going to ask for too much money because that was a huge problem last time. As he asked for a lot of money and was upset
Yep.
that he wasn't getting paid. No, he tried to ask for an extension and they said no.
Yeah.
He's good. He's probably worth that money,
Hmm.
But the Chargers with the losing record every year, it's not worth it.
Nope.
It's not. It's not worth the money. So
Not at all. Can't even afford Keenan Allen or
no.
Justin Herbert.
Well, there's probably a lot of talk about clearing house there on the depth chart, but
True.
for now, I'm saying they cut bait on Eckler. Sign and trade at best.
Yeah, I agree.
Next one is Gabe Davis of the Bills.
Oh, okay. Honestly, cut bait. What's the worst you can lose?
Right. It's a cut bait for me. Unless you can get him on a super good deal,
Oh
not
yeah,
worth it. Go draft a
like
receiver.
yeah, like absolutely free. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, and
Or
that's not gonna happen.
sign one of these receivers that are coming up. Like
Yep,
do anything here. But
anything for the
if you
receiver
come back
core.
with the same receiver core next year, you are
Yeah,
doomed to repeat yourself, which is to be in a spot where you can either win it all or not make the playoffs.
yep.
So, speaking of other receivers on the list, the next two are with the next one being Odell Beckham Jr.
Um, um, like I said, same thing with man, Kirk. No, it's not Kirk. Is it Kirk? Christian Kirk.
With
That's it.
Chris.
Yeah. I mean, cut him. He's gonna do good regardless wherever he goes.
Oh, you mean Calvin Ridley?
Yeah, Calvin Ridley. That's it.
Okay. I think they
Um,
have to cut bait as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
He's going to come back and ask for more money, and what it really is now is he's just become the forever 1 year prove it deal guy.
Yep.
He's going to do good. He's going to prove that he's worth the money, but then they're not going to want to pay him, and he's going to say, "Fine, I'll go chase. I'll go wait for another ring hunting team to call me, and I'll come back on a 1 year deal."
True.
So
Which I think he can do.
right. And actually, the next one on this list is one that I talked about earlier, forgetting he was on this list. It's Tyler Boyd. So both T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are on contract years this year.
Oh,
You're going to have to pay either both of them or pick one or
they're
let them both
picking one.
go. They're
They're
picking
picking
one
Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd's staying on the team.
over T. Higgins, you think?
Oh yeah. Tyler Boyd's
Oh,
not as expensive.
that's true. That's very true.
And he has confident hands. I mean, you're keeping him.
True. So, all right. I can see that. I could see them saying that this is, yeah, okay. I can agree with a fish. Like it's either
Mhm.
that or you have to choose yeah, unless you can get T Higgins on a better deal. So,
Yeah.
and then the last two to round off our list are both quarterbacks.
Ooh, okay.
We have Baker Mayfield first.
Of course.
And I mean, let's be honest.
Honestly, I'm fishing, dude.
I think you should. I truly
I think
do, but
yeah.
it also would not surprise me for them to cut bait and be like, "Yeah, we don't want to pay you."
Yeah. I
And
mean,
you
how
know
much are
who
they really going to be paying Baker Mayfield, though?
he took him almost to the playoffs. They're paying him next to nothing right now. They're going to have to pay him more than that.
That's fine.
And
I mean,
so,
still pay him. It's like what kind of like 3-year contract do you think he could finagle?
probably similar to a Geno Smith like contract. I thought it was like 3 years, 60 million. That seems about right.
I think he could do 90 million.
Maybe.
90 million 3 year. I think he's worth that on the Buccaneers, and I think he could do something pretty positive with that. I think he can consistently get playoffs 2 out of those 3 seasons.
All right, but hear me out though. Buccaneers cut him. Vikings cut bait with Kirk Cousins. They bring in
Oh,
Baker
jeez.
Mayfield. Let him sling that pill with that good receiver core.
That's true.
I don't hate Chris Godwin, but
Hmm.
man, Jordan
Vikings
Addison
do need
showed
a
that he
dub,
was a
dude.
baller.
When's the last time they have made it past first round in playoffs?
True. You know what they really need from Baker Mayfield over Kirk Cousins
Mm,
is that get in your face energy. Baker Mayfield will get in your face and talk shit. He told
true.
someone that he hit someone, either it was a block or he went for a first down run and he got it and the guy hit him out of bounds and he basically runs past him and goes, "Hit the weight room harder." Like it's you just
It's
need
all funny.
you
Now,
need a QB with that
you
energy.
know how I see Baker Mayfield? I see Baker Mayfield as Patty Mahomes is acting right now. It's just kind of, chirp, 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 chirp type energy. Doesn't
But he
really.
does it in the right way. Like
But he's been like that for
Pat,
so long. You
it
know,
is. But Patrick Mahomes is kind of also chewing out his team.
that's
Excuse
true.
me. Baker is
You're not the other team.
out there. Yeah, he's getting in the
That's
other
true.
team. He's being the guy that's like trying to pump his team up by getting in his face. And
Hmm.
so
Hey, you
I
saying Kirk
think
Cousins ain't doing all that?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's not. And that's I
That's
think the
true.
problem is like he's good. He's better. I would say he's better than Baker Mayfield, but he doesn't
Me
have the
too.
right energy
Hmm.
because he gets that way on like big drives. But I think
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield brings that energy to every play. And you
Hmm.
need that on a team that's really trying to
He's
pull
got
it.
he's got the Peyton Manning energy, but he doesn't have the Peyton Manning work ethic. That's what I
Right.
think.
Right. And I think but he's got a better team than I think Peyton's
Oh,
Colts had.
I completely agree.
So what's the worst? But that's
Yeah,
just me. I still think Cousins stays on the Vikings, but it would be cool to see Baker go to a team that's already in a winning spot.
that is true. I think that would be very interesting.
Be
I would
crazy if he
enjoy
went to the
seeing it.
Patriots next to compete for that starting QB job.
Dude,
He'd
Kirk
probably get it
Cousins would
too.
be perfect on that team, dude.
Yeah,
I just thought about that. Kirk Cousins would be perfect on the Patriots right now.
he fits there. He literally fits what Belichick wants.
Yep.
Don't do anything crazy. Do the plays I
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
Run the offense.
White
Perfect.
bread offense,
Yeah.
that's like as is what that is. And I think that fits perfect. I think Kirk Cousins should seriously consider that.
So there we go. Vikings and Patriots. We just fixed your offseason problems. Go get Kirk
Boom.
Cousins and Vikings sign Baker Mayfield because what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to get him for cheap so you can sign everybody else.
Yep.
Or you go get this last guy on the list, which is Gardner Minshew.
Ooh, Minshew mania.
It's not as good as Baker Mayfield.
Gardner Minshew never sees a starting position again. I'm just gonna put that out there.
No, no, he doesn't. But he should.
He's he's gonna be a backup for someone, dude. He's gonna be backup for Falcons. I see it now.
If he goes to the Falcons, he starts. There's no way
You
he's
think
backing
so?
up Heineke and Ritter.
I think he
Absolutely
backs up
no
Heineke,
way.
dude.
No way. They switch off maybe like quarters. Like this is a Minshew quarter, this is a
Yeah,
Heineke quarter. There's no
that
way
would be
you're
good.
like
Like a fresh
starting one over the
QB
other.
every quarter. Ay, ay,
Nah.
ay.
What really happens is the Colts just pay him.
Yeah.
And he'll be happy to stay somewhere. He left the Eagles to follow this offensive coordinator, or the offensive coordinator signed him after the Eagles didn't.
Okay.
He's
Nice.
yeah, he stays.
Okay.
So
Hell yeah.
as fun as it would be to be like, he's gonna go start. He's not gonna go start.
No, he's not gonna start.
We cut a lot of bait here.
Yeah. I
And these
mean,
are some big
dude,
names.
like stuff needs to happen, dude. Like this is a terrible season. Like
Right.
players need to move, moves need to be made. It's nothing. Not a lot's working right now. You
No.
know,
No, it's not.
that's a symptom
You
of when things don't happen. Players get cut.
true. All right, we did Fisher cut bait. Oh, I got one. I got one more for you because there's one last wild card into the mix.
Okay.
Where does Russell Wilson go?
Ooh,
We just talked
by
about.
by far the most interesting.
Uh,
Um, I've
well,
seen
okay. The first
talks.
question is:
I've
does
seen
he ever
talks
start
of
again?
Raiders. Um, I've seen talks of Steelers. It
It's
stresses
tough.
me out to think that he is considered for the Raiders. Honestly,
Uh,
honestly.
what at that point we go back to again, are we doing the rebuild or are we not? Because we've been
Yeah,
stuck in this middle ground forever. You
yeah,
can't. You just can't. I think I would have agreed with you with the Steelers until Mason Rudolph came in and did his thing, and then I'm like, well,
yeah,
he didn't look uh, bad last time, minus the
yeah.
fact that he called Miles Garrett a no-no word and got hit in the head with a helmet.
It's true. Um, oh man, Russell Wilson, because
You know where
He's not staying on the team.
no, they're going to cut him. They've pretty
Yeah,
much made it abundantly clear they're going to cut him.
yeah.
He goes to the Falcons.
Oh, poor guy. No way,
Yeah.
dude. Just
What do you?
just go with the memes. Go to the Jets. You know,
But they have
get me out of the
Rodgers. They're not going to
culture.
sign him. Rodgers will throw a fit,
Dude, they're gonna have an old head party. They're gonna have a great time. They're gonna
or does he go to the
exchange
Patriots?
preparation H. Um,
No, he wouldn't do well on the
oh, he
Patriots.
wouldn't. Yeah, he would do terrible on
Team
the
three wouldn't
Patriots.
stand for that stuff.
Nope. No way, dude. No way.
I
Um,
mean, or you could go to the Saints, give Carr the boot,
that's true.
because I think I
Hmm.
would take Wilson over Carr.
I think I would take Wilson over Carr too. Gosh, they're so similar.
Yeah.
They both choke in such pivotal ways.
The most real answer is he goes to the Falcons because they're in desperate need of a quarterback. I've also seen Washington get talked about because they need a stopgap quarterback while they go through this rebuild to figure out their
Yeah.
identity.
It's not too
Fun
bad.
one.
They could do that around a player, though. It doesn't need to be a QB that you have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah. Fun one would be Kirk Cousins leaves and he takes Kirk Cousins' spot.
That one would be fun.
Vikings, 5 more years of mediocrity.
All right, hear me out.
Hmm.
Kirk Cousins goes to Patriots. Mayfield
Uh-huh.
goes to Vikings. Russ goes to the Buccaneers.
I mean, Brady did it. Why can't Russ?
That's what I'm saying. You think he can't do a system too? He had his own damn office over there
They won a Super Bowl
in
with him.
Bronco country.
They won a Super Bowl with Brady throwing in like under 3 seconds. So
Yeah,
you telling me Russ can't do that?
that's what I'm saying, dude. Hey, food for thought.
But it's a rookie coach though. That's the problem. He bullies new coaches.
Yeah, that's true.
So I could see that happening.
Hmm.
I don't think it works out well. And then
Yeah,
I think after that one fails, he retires.
yeah, probably.
But that would be a fun
Think he
one.
becomes a sports commentator?
Oh, let Amazon sign him so he can sit next to Richard Sherman every
Dude,
Thursday.
that would be so awesome.
Like every time Sherman goes to talk, he just cuts him off, like they were saying he did, like in
Yeah,
his act, like just doesn't let him speak. Like, no, I got
yeah,
it.
exactly. That would be such gold.
Don't get me wrong, I like Ryan Fitzmagic as the other commentator, but man, that would be funny.
That one would be funny.
So, all right, you ready to do some game picks?
Yeah, let's do them.
All right. We have the first one on Saturday is the Steelers who need to win to get in, playing the Ravens who are
You're the
resting.
biggest Steelers fan known to mankind, huh?
Nah, I'm
Oh
saying it's
man.
the Steelers because I don't think Tyler Huntley's pulling the win out.
Dude, there's no way. I'm not doing that.
I mean, if we take the Ravens, we get more money.
Do we?
Yeah, the Ravens they have admitted they are resting all of their starters,
That is true.
playing the Steelers who need to win to get in, so they are going to be playing their starters. Are we saying the Steelers are that bad that the backups are going to smoke them?
I mean, maybe. I'm willing to go Steelers then. If that's the case, if they're benching all their starters,
I think they are. I think we're benching everybody worth anything, which is crazy because Lamar Jackson's in an MVP season or an MVP race, but he's also projected to win it heavily.
hmm, yeah,
I
he
still
better,
say
dude.
I still say they should have played him so he could solidify it, but then he has a chance of getting hurt, I guess.
Yeah. It's a smart move. I appreciate it, keeping the player safe.
Right. Next one is the Texans at the Colts, also on Saturday.
Ooh, let's go Texans.
I think it's Texans as well. We have this is a garbage game. We have the Falcons at the Saints.
Ooh,
Both teams need
and
to they're both in clinching
both, yeah.
scenarios if they win, so they're gonna play
Uh,
hard.
gosh,
I
dude,
just don't see this epitomizes the Falcons how they've been
so
the last 3
terrible.
years. They get all the way up to the finish line and then they choke.
Yeah,
They can't ever live down the 28-3.
I mean, so does Carr.
If we
That's a
take the
terrible.
Falcons, the Falcons are projected to lose by 3 points.
Sheesh. All right, I'm willing to go Falcons.
All right, let's give the Falcons a shot.
Yeah,
Next one is the Buccaneers at the Panthers. It's the Bucks.
yeah,
There's even
yeah.
they're not
There's no
resting
way.
anybody.
Yeah.
The toilet bowl to end the season is the Jets at the Patriots.
Hey, let's go Jets, dude.
Let's go
Let's go
Jets.
Jets.
Let's
Yeah,
go Jets.
yeah. We need to find a dub.
So we have the Browns playing the Bengals, but the Browns are resting
Ooh,
their starters. Joe Flacco's not
really?
playing.
Okay.
I don't think Ninjoku or Cooper are playing because they've clinched
Yeah.
and they're not getting they've clinched.
Okay.
They're not getting the
Yeah.
number 1 seed over the Patriots or their division. So
Yeah.
Bengals.
Let's go Bengals.
We have the Jaguars at the Titans.
We're
Both
going
are
Jags.
in playoff clinching scenarios. So yeah,
We're going Jags.
we have the Vikings at the Lions. I mean,
Ooh.
Lions are still in a clinch scenario here. They need to win to get the number 2 seed and home games.
I think honestly the Vikings pull a bit of a Patriots move here, dude. I think they knock them out.
I guess. I could see it. They have it projected the Vikings to lose by 4, but they also said that Jaron Hall is the starter again. So we'll
Okay.
see.
That's a tough one.
We have Seahawks at Cardinals.
Let's go Seahawks.
Okay. I think
I
so
know
too.
we
I think the
doubted. We
Cardinals.
doubted. Yeah, the Cardinals had a lucky game, right? Wait, we said they were gonna win last game, right? Did they win?
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
No, we didn't pick the Cardinals. We picked the Eagles, who lost to the Cardinals.
Sheesh, dude. Are we
Did the
gonna say
Cardinals steal
the?
another one and put there's a
Oh,
couple
man.
games here with playoff lives on the line, and the Cardinals
Yeah,
beating the Seahawks basically is playoff suicide for the Seahawks.
yeah.
I think they win it just because they're going to play so intensely. It's
Yeah,
like we're not even going to let off the gas.
I agree with that. Pete Carroll's gonna be up in that biz.
And Pete Carroll's known for his defense, whereas the
Yep,
Eagles were not known as much for their defense. So they're just going to be all over it, I think.
yep.
Speaking of spoil sport games, it's the Bears at the Packers. If the Bears
Ooh,
beat the Packers, it makes them sweat, but doesn't guarantee that the Packers are out.
okay. How many times this season we took the Bears?
A couple different times. We didn't take
I
them this last week, and we
I
were
don't think we
right.
took. I don't think we took them enough.
I mean, are we taking the Bears? Are we saying because mind you, this is Justin Fields trying to prove that he's worth one more year. You trade away that number 1 overall pick.
I think he's gonna prove it, dude.
Which, side note, pausing in the middle of these games here, and I'll go back and read them. Talking about quarterbacks on the move, you also can't forget that there is a chance that the Bears are trying to trade Justin Fields.
That is
So,
true. Hmm.
where does he fit in our 4 quarterback move? Cousins to the Patriots,
Ooh,
Mayfield to the
dude, Justin
Vikings.
Fields to the Raiders. Let's
Okay,
go, dude.
that's right.
Let's
That's right.
do
That's
it.
what you want. Justin Fields to the Raiders.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
all right.
All day.
So, moving on. That was a pretty easy one. We have the Rams who are resting everybody because they've clinched versus the Niners who are resting everybody who clinched. It's Sam Darnold versus Carson Wentz at quarterback.
I'm going Carson Wentz, dude.
You think it's the Rams?
Yeah.
Do they even have any receivers? Because they're dressing. They're not. They're resting
You,
Puka.
dude, you say Niners have depth? Nah, bruh. They
All
got
right.
star power on first string only.
All right. All right. We can go. We can go Rams. I'm down to go Rams. They're projected to lose, so we'll take it.
Nice.
We have the Cowboys who are playing to clinch a spot versus the Commanders. That's going to be a bloodbath.
Yes.
This team is out for blood.
Yes. Oh man. It's gonna be an exciting game.
CeeDee Lamb's going to have 2 touchdowns at 200 yards by half.
Oh yeah, easy. We done boys, right?
We done, boys.
Yeah.
We have the Kansas City Chiefs that are resting their offense versus the Chargers.
Gosh, dude. Oh, that's terrible.
And this is a doesn't matter game, but they have the Chargers projected to win because the Chargers don't have any backups to play at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly. Um, I mean, I'll follow Vegas, like I don't mind.
Well, and outside of benching Travis Kelsey and Patty Mahomes, who are you really resting on the Chiefs offense?
Literally, it's gonna be like some like pee-wee football out there, dude. Swear to God, they're gonna have like fourth and fifth graders like running out there, dude. And it'll be like kicking and screaming, It's just gonna be no good. I could see the Chargers taking it.
Yeah, I think so too. So the next one's a revenge game. You get
Ooh.
the Stidham-led Broncos taking on the Raiders in a game that has no playoff
Oh,
implications, but is all
wow.
about division matchup here.
Oh, dude, this is the cream of the crop when it comes to the Raiders. Okay, they are willing to rip off their heads. They have nothing left to do for the rest of the season. They don't even really have a future in front of themselves, so they're gonna put everything on the line in this game.
All right, we're just going for it. Cool.
Oh
I'm fine
yeah.
with going the Raiders.
Oh yeah. I'm calling it now. Hot take: Crosby has 4 sacks his next game.
I would not doubt that. So the next one is the Eagles, who are also playing for playoff spots against the Giants.
Hmm.
I think it's going to be another. I think it'll be closer because Saquon's going to gash that defense, but you have to trust Tyrod Taylor to make passes.
Is that doable? Like, do you trust Tyrod Taylor?
I mean, I've always been a Tyrod Taylor supporter. I think his whole career has just been ruined by getting injured in front of upstart rookies and then never getting a chance to come back.
Mm. Who were the upstart rookies that
He
never gave him
lost
a
to he
chance to
lost
come
his
back?
starting spot to Josh Allen on the Bills. He then goes
Ooh.
to the Browns where he does well, but then he gets hurt. Baker Mayfield comes in and kills it. He gets cut from
Ooh.
Baker. He then goes to the Chargers where the medical trainer punctures his lung with a needle.
What the?
And, yeah, he has to go to the hospital. Guess who starts over him in that game?
Herbert?
Justin Herbert loses his spot there.
Wow.
Now he's in New York where he's been replaced by Danny Dimes. He gets hurt. Guess who replaces him?
Who?
Tommy DeVito. He loses that spot for 4 weeks to
Man.
Tommy DeVito, and now he finally got his spot back. I think
Man,
he
dude.
is a good quarterback who is just through unfortunate circumstances ended up on teams that struck the lottery on the draft. To complete the trifecta, the only thing he could have done is gone to the Bengals and gotten hurt there. Like, it's
True. For this last decade.
yeah.
Jeez.
So
Oh,
I
man,
think
this
it's the
poor guy,
Eagles,
dude.
but I think Tyrod Taylor keeps it close.
Yeah, I think it's the Eagles as well.
Yeah.
Is it the Eagles though? Hold on.
I think the
Eagles just lost to the Cardinals last week.
Could you imagine the storylines here if they lose to the Giants? Brian Daboll
Dude.
just comes out and lets it hang one more time to be like, this is why I'm still coach.
Oh, man. I think, dude,
I'd be down.
happen,
I'd be
dude.
down to do this.
I'm down to do it.
We've done
We got a whole
crazier
lot of hot
picks.
takes. Yeah, we got a whole lot of hot takes in this.
So last week of
tier
football
lineup.
before playoffs. So we gotta
Yeah, exactly.
we gotta
Gotta go
pick
crazy.
16 games. We gotta get 16 right here. We're going crazy.
Yeah.
Last one is for the basically do or die Bills at the Dolphins. They're in Miami, and Miami has a pretty good track record at home.
Yes, they
But
do.
they did lose Bradley Chubb, which is their second pass rusher they've lost this year.
Oh yeah.
So he was also their leading sack.
I don't think it matters though. Josh Allen can get that ball out faster than what the Dolphins defense can penetrate. So when it comes down to the matchup, how is the Dolphins secondary? Has it been holding up this postseason?
It's doing all right. I mean, it's got Jalen Ramsey leading it with at cornerback,
Yeah,
and Xavier
that's true.
Rhodes. Also, Eli Apple's on the team. We don't talk
Oh
about
my
that a whole
gosh.
lot. Yeah,
Dude,
can't forget that
I
he's
think
there.
that's like your unicorn, right? You know, like
I don't know about all that.
he's the lucky pair of underpants, you know, that you have like in your top drawer. That's Eli Apple. I think he's going to be kind of your golden ticket here, dude. At
So
least
you're saying the Dolphins beat the Bills.
I'm saying Dolphins beat the Bills. I mean, just on a home matchup, they are like explosive when they are at home. I think what do they average, like over 40 points?
Something like that. It's some
something
insane number.
nuts. Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that. So
But Bills are going to be
just-
fighting for their life, right?
yeah, they're going to be fighting for their life out there. So it would be cool to see them win. So just going through the list here, the games that we've picked, we have Steelers, Texans, Falcons, Bucks, Jets, Bengals, Jaguars, Vikings, Seahawks, Bears, Rams, Cowboys, Chargers, Raiders, Giants, and Dolphins. Which, if you are crazy enough to put $1 on that, like we are, pays out $22,300.
Yeah, best payout this season. Let's go.
Yeah. And those games start Saturday instead of Thursday, so we don't get Thursday night football. But that's okay.
Yep.
We'll
Yeah, exactly.
we'll enjoy it
A
on
little
Saturday.
extra goodness on Saturday, yeah.
So, all right. You want to hit me with a hot take outside of what was the one you said earlier? Oh,
Max Crosby 4+ tackles.
Max, 4 sacks.
I would say hot take. Here you go first. Do you got one?
Okay. My hot take here is that I mean, we're still due one more coach firing, right?
I mean, there's
think
an inevitable one, right?
I think the
one we've
Falcons
been
lose to
talking
the
about.
Saints and Arthur Smith gets fired. You miss the playoffs,
Ooh.
you're fired. We're not talking about
Wow.
We're not talking about Riverboat Ron. He's guaranteed fired in this offseason.
Yeah.
So this is it. I think it's the Falcons lose, even though we picked them to win, and Arthur Smith gets fired.
All right.
I also think I'm looking here for my craziest. I think Justin Fields hangs 400 yards.
Oh yeah.
Of mixed yards from the line of scrimmage. So that's rushing and passing. So like 300 and 100 is what I think is what he's going to do on the Packers.
Yep. Completely agree. My hot take: Eagles lose, and Matt Patricia gets fired.
Yeah. Matt Patricia gets fired, and in the offseason, we see A.J. Brown ask for a trade.
Ooh. Yeah.
I think
That's mine.
I think he's in that category that he thinks he's good enough that he can demand that. So
maybe. That's my hot take right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's some good hot takes. So we'll just have to come back next week. We never remember these, but I'm sure we'll remember this one, and we'll come back and talk about it next week. All right, thank you all for tuning in.
Yep.
Have a good rest of your day. All right, later.